What makes a work transformative? What qualifies as fair use? You know, a lot of people in my last video decided they wanted to ask me, should I clarify these things? And that's what I'm here to do. Now, a transformative work is where you take a work and you add a new layer of depth, a new layer of analysis, a new layer of something that takes the original work and makes it completely different because you're using it to supplement an argument, or it is a minuscule part of the greater goal of trying to communicate whatever it is that you have to say, but using this as a medium to speak through. Whether it's critical analysis, whether it's using it to compliment, whether it's saying that you agree. At some point, this video has to get to a new destination or a new level of context that you would then be providing through your video. For example, let's say I'm teaching a class to Alcoholics Anonymous or something like that, and then I showcase a clip, put it at the bottom left-hand corner, and it's about 100 drunk people failing at certain things, where it's drunk fails. Oh man, and they're just falling, they're all inebriated, they're intoxicated, and they're falling around the world. I can then use that video as a teaching tool to be like, look, this is what happens. You do not have as much control over your body, your body mechanics, your mechanical behavior, your thought process. You just kind of go. This is what happens when you become inebriated, you're intoxicated, you're in over your head, and you're just an alcoholic. This is where you could be. You don't want to be here. And could you imagine if you can't even walk? Can you imagine what would happen if you drive? I'm taking the original video and I'm adding a new level of context where it's not just, look, oh, that's funny. You know you can't take a walker up an escalator. What were you doing? You were trying to use the motorized scooter, but you were drunk, so you went up the wrong side. That's not what the video is. I'm actually taking the quote-unquote comedic parts of the video, stripping that out and putting it in a new context, thus transforming the work in some way, shape, or form. If I wanted to review a movie and I show certain movie clips and I show certain parts of the movie, guess what? I'm reviewing, I'm critiquing. It's not just, hey guys, let's watch a movie. I'm taking some of the data, extrapolating, pulling it out, and putting it in a new light, a new context. You're like, oh, I could see how that could not be a quote-unquote film-worthy tactic, or, oh, I see how that edit was a little bit spliced in and wasn't that great, or, oh, wow, that was a lazy shortcut that they tried to take. You know, things like that where you look in depth into the scene and take out certain issues. Now, another thing that would make a work transformative, and some people will probably debate this, is can a reaction channel make something transformative? And yes, it can. If you're using the video that you're reacting to tell a story and you're using it as anecdotal evidence, you're using the video as a quote-unquote supplement or a complementary piece to whatever story that it is that you're trying to tell, and it's not just, hey, we're watching a video, oh, that video reminds me of something, but you're still showcasing the entire video. There's a little bit of a difference there. Now, the nature of the copyrighted work is the next bullet point. Trust me, there's many other reasons and many other examples I could use for the previous one, but once again, time constraints. So the nature of the copyrighted work. Now, with a video, as we all know, you could take bits and you could take pieces and you can edit it together and you can make your own new subcontext, context, etc., etc. However, with the copyrighted nature of a work, if it's a picture, you can't really review the art. You can't really review Picasso's picture without showing the entire thing. You can talk about line art, you can talk about length distribution, you can talk about what does it mean, you can try to read the context of the times and things of that nature. And in your review, yes, you can show the entire work of Picasso's painting. You can do the whole thing if you want to. But at the end of the day, it can't just be, here's a painting, pay me. Like that would never be how it works. That will never ever be how that works. So the next one is the big problem with reaction channels. The amount and the substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. You see this up here? Remember when I was talking about paintings and how you could use the whole painting, because there's no way you could just take a piece of the painting, but you could break down the parts and, you could talk about what the painting means to you and then, in your review and that nature, things like that. Yeah, that's fine. But we're using a video, and you're not adding any context to it at all, and it's just you screening the video. Here's why that's a problem. If I were to just say, for whatever reason, I just whip out my Jurassic World Blu-ray, put it on the screen right here, and just the next 2.5 hours are just me going, oh, well, that's nice. Really? You named him Blue? Wow. At that point, we're just screening a movie with occasional body language and silent communication and, nonverbal communication with a couple of witty jabs and retorts towards the original video. I'm not transforming the work. It's not me using the work to teach something. It's not me extrapolating something from the work to make it a new idea and then spin it in a way that is more creative or bring it to you in a different type of way. It's literally the movie. And some guy being like, well, that's nice. The movie's context is still the same. There's nothing new. There's no new layers. It's still the movie. But no one would be dumb enough to say, Jurassic World reaction. That's not something that's going to happen because we all know exactly how that would end up. Now, the reason why this is a huge thing on YouTube is because, once again, YouTube has a flawed system in which we have a copyright bot. There is no amount of people on this planet that can literally take the man hours to sit here and watch every single second of every single video, cross-referencing every single video to see if copyright was actually used, see if everything is fair use. That's not something that will ever be able to happen, not in my lifetime, not in your lifetime, due to the simple fact of, do you know how much content is uploaded here every day? Seriously, go look that shit up. That number is astronomical. It would take 20 millennias for thousands of people to watch every second of every video just to make sure everybody's in good standing with copyright laws. That and YouTube itself doesn't really get involved with the copyright nitty-gritty in terms of the legal parts. That is on the parties of the original creator and the people who quote-unquote stole the content to debate and, hinge out between themselves, in which then YouTube will be like, oh, you guys have settled it amongst yourselves? Well, all right. Let's get down to removing videos. That's when they'll step in. If you haven't read the community guidelines of what please, it's YouTube's copyright system is a hot mess, but at the very same time, is there really anything else that you guys could recommend to make it any better to alleviate some of these problems? Leave those thoughts in the comment section below. Now, with that said, there is another requirement that some of these works have to meet, and that is the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work, which means the following. If your video is literally just, as I said, you watching a movie, guess what? I've watched the movie. Why would I watch you watching the movie and then say, you know what would be a good idea right now? To watch the movie again myself. I just watched the movie in your video. I don't have to watch the movie. Did they get any money for me watching you watch the movie? No, they didn't. Did they get the view? Did they get the CPM for me watching you watch? No, they didn't. You did. You did. Your work wasn't transformative. It wasn't like, oh man, I should go watch that movie because the points that he brought up about the movie are really interesting, and I think that would give me a new perspective when I go see the movie. That didn't happen. It was just, I watched the movie for myself because I watched him watch the movie and he didn't commentate that much. It was like going to the movie theater and then have someone talking to their friend like, oh man, that's crazy, right? Oh man, that's hype. Yo, that's crazy. And me kind of just tuning them out because the movie's right there. It's not transformative. Does not translate very well when you just put it at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and just watch it completely unedited, no filters, nothing, just absolutely just screening the original video in its original context without, extrapolating anything from it. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because, as I said earlier, some people have asked, would a reaction channel have the power to be transformative? And yes. If you were trying to use the video that you'd be reacting with as a supplement or complement to a story, or use it as anecdotal, substantial evidence to whatever case that you're trying to make, then by all means, that's fine. Fair use will cover you on this. The problem is a lot of them don't actually do that. It's just them watching a video, taking the original context, and then ending the video with, wow, man, that video was pretty good, man. The editing was real dope, man. Wow. Wow. Really good stuff. Remember to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Deuces. And that's it. The work never changed. It's really just a video screening, just with a couple of jabs and witty retorts thrown in, sprinkled in throughout its duration. However, moving past that, let's get back to the subject at hand. In my Dear Tyrone video, some people have asked also, why did you single out Tyrone Magnus? And it was because at the time, let's be honest, Jinx said he was quitting videos, everyone has already gotten on CJ is so cool, and a lot of the other reactors, they're not really quote-unquote open to discussion. I thought Tyrone Magnus would be the most open to discussion, that's why I chose him. It wasn't me singling him out, I just figured he'd be the most open to talk, he'd be the most reasonable. That's why he was the one that I decided to choose. Now, with that said, he hasn't gotten back to me on that. That's fine. He's got his whole other thing with GradeAUnderA going on right now. And that is the second part of this video that we're going to touch on those because there's 4 videos that I've watched. GradeAUnderA's issues with YouTube and all the YouTube drama that's going on with how YouTube is handling copyright. I've watched Tyrone Magnus' response to that video. And then there's a third party who has played both devil's advocate and, well, let's be honest, the other side of the spectrum has argued on both platforms, saying that she's agreed with some things over here and some things over there, and her channel is known as Becky Boop, I believe, and I'll put her link in the description as well so you can find everybody. You can find all these videos so you can know what I'm talking about, cross-reference things for yourself, draw your own conclusions. Now, in her video where she was talking about GradeAUnderA's original video, she brought up an interesting point about a lot of animators could say that you don't work as hard on your videos. Now, the problem that I had with that is that would be one thing if all animation was equal, but Grade A is not even an animator. Honestly, if you look at his videos, you actually take the context, it's not even animation. It's literally just a slideshow. You know, when someone has a business proposal or a business presentation in a business setting, they might bring Microsoft PowerPoint and they might use graphics and infographics to, you know, further complement their argument. So people who are not only sitting down digesting the audio part of it can be like, oh, okay, I see how he's working. All right, bravo, all right. Using it as an entertaining supplement in order than just a black video with audio playing over it. You know, it's that type of thing to enhance the video. But even then, the main context of his video isn't the animation. It isn't the slideshow. It isn't the graphics. It's what he's saying and the information he's trying to bring through to a verbal, you know, means. Not just, I'm telling a story and here's some animation to go along with it. That's irrelevant. At that point, his animation quality or drawing quality is irrelevant. It has nothing to do with the arguments that he's making within the video. Now, as I said, when he's talking about the copyright system, as I've already covered, there's no man hours on the planet Earth that will ever get you anywhere close to that goal of having every video watched in its entirety and then having somebody make the conscious decision of saying, this is fair use and this is not, then having another human being watch all of those videos again to make sure that, you know, there's someone to review the issues at hand. So that's not something that's going to happen anytime soon. Once again, not in my lifetime, not in your lifetime, just not something. It's too far-fetched of an idea in its current standard. Now, moving on to the next part of the video. She did say something that I thought was kind of interesting as opposed to Grade A, where someone said, if you do not need the permission of the original video uploader, as long as you are using it for educational works, as I covered when I was talking about the sheet of paper and the qualifications that are needed in order to make your work transformative, as you can see right here, talked about it in the last video as well. The problem with that is, as I said, a lot of these reaction channels don't do that. There's no part that makes you transformative. And the whole nonverbal communication thing doesn't work as a strong stance for the reasons why I told you where, yeah, you could try to say that on a YouTube video because everyone thinks, oh, it's just a YouTube video. Of course you can have nonverbal communication. The problem is if I were to react to an episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and just go, that Will Smith sure was funny. Damn it, Avery, why'd you have to go too soon? Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. That's my boy Carlton Banks. That's him, right? My boy Alfonso Rivera. That's the man. And that's all I'm doing. That's not, once again, that's not making the word transformative. That's just me screening an episode and then trying to get paid for it by adding quote-unquote non-verbal communication with every now and then sprinkling splices of quote-unquote witty commentary. It's not transformative in the slightest because the original context of the work is still being used for the original context of the work, getting laughs and jollies. Tyrone Magnus also had an interesting point where he decided to say, you know, people have seen the original video first. Here's why I want to dispel that. If I subscribe to a reaction channel, let's just say I subscribe to Tyrone Magnus. Let's just say that I'm subscribed to him, right? Eventually, he's going to upload a video from a channel I've never seen before. And you know what? If I watch your video become subscribed to you, that means, oh, well, damn. If I've never heard of this channel, that means I've never seen this video before. And therefore, by proxy, that does not mean, oh, he reacted to it, I have to subscribe. I can watch the video, I'm like, yeah, that was nice. All right, Tyrone Magnus' video's done. Close tab, and that's it. That person doesn't get a view. That person doesn't get a click from me. So to sit there and say that everybody who's seen your reaction has seen the original first is a ludicrous statement to make. You know this. There's people who have found channels through you, which makes my point even worse. And like I said in my last video, some people say that, but isn't it good for free promotion? And sometimes you could say, yeah, it is. You could say that. The problem is, what if you sit there with a straight face and go, I didn't think that video was that entertaining. Then what? Then what? I ask you, then what? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Go on, do it. Tell me. Because you can't. What's going on, everybody? This is probably going to go towards the end of the video, so thank you for watching. Thank you for getting this far. But yeah, I'm going to mess up my collar, so when I record my video, my collar is going to be all jacked up, because I need to give you guys a free roast. I need you guys to get a free roast session, because when you guys disagree with someone in the video, it seems like a lot of you just can't help yourself. So talk about my collar looks like I'm getting penetrated from a beagle or something like that. Telling me that I look like I just lost a fight with Manny Pacquiao or something. Just tell me I look complete and utter disheveled, like I should be the black guy in Max Payne 4 or something like that. Come on, I need you guys to step up your insult game, because if you're not going to come at me with facts, at least make your insults entertaining. So I'm giving you a freebie with the collar. Now with that said, a couple people in GradeAUnderA's video have decided, to go on out and look at everybody else's video and call them fucking attention whores and sluts and pieces of shit. Even though in Grade A's very video, he said that fanboys do ruin everything, and then you go out and do exactly what he was advocating against. So, good job. Good job. That's really top-notch stuff, good caliber stuff there. Anyway, you guys enjoy your day. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun at the end of the video, because I know people probably have not gotten this far, have already insulted me, and I think it's hilarious. But regardless,